vector multiplication that we have discussed earlier. See what I am going to say right now. And this context, please note, is one of the very important concepts in the entire vector multiplication study itself. Well, let us take a length equal to A1, another length equal to A2. Then here we have got that right angle. Then we know by applying Pythagoras theorem that the third side will have a length which is equal to A3 given by, what is Pythagoras theorem? A square plus B square is equal to C square. So this will be equal to A square plus B square. That B is now here equal to A2. That will be C square. So C will be square root of this, means it will be equal to the square root of A1 square plus A2 square. So like that, if we take another line for all the three directions, and then if we name the three different lengths as B1, B2, B3 and so on, we will then get B3 will be equal to the square root of B1 square plus the B2 square. Or whatever be the resultant of two sides, we can just call it as B. That will be enough. In the same manner, instead of A3, we will call it as A. In the same manner, let us take all the three coordinate axes. So this is the one. A three-dimensional view in 2 dimensions will appear only like this. For that, the explanation that I have given was, take a cube. All of you know that a cube has 3 sides. So to have a feeling as that of the cube, draw a square somewhere from the middle of the first square. Then join the sides. Now you can see that you have got a 3-dimensional view in 2 dimensions. So here in this 3-dimensional view, take this as the y-axis and this one as the x-axis and this one as the z-axis. The 3 coordinate axes that we have under mathematics. So if you look into it separately, it will be like this, the y-axis, and then we have got the x-axis, and the third one, as you all can see, appearing to be in another 90 degrees. So this is 90. You have to imagine all these things. Now you will get a better picture after showing the angles, all of them 90 degrees. So this is this z-axis. Now, when you take only 2 dimensions, the x-axis and the y-axis, you have A1 and A2. When you take 3 dimensions and you have got a line or a vector which is given by the direction such that it has effect in all the 3 dimensions. That is, it has got a component in the x direction, it has got a component in the y direction, it has also got a component in the z direction. So now we will not just have only A1 and A2. It is going to be the result A equal to square root of A1 for the x-axis plus A2 along the y-axis, then along the z-axis A3. So this is going to be the result. Now, what is the meaning of this? Please note that we have written the equation for only the magnitudes. That is, in this direction, whatever be the length, that will be the magnitude, and whatever be the direction, that also if taken into account is a vector. This one is a vector now. And you can see that the vector has got effect in all the three directions, x, y, and z. So along the x direction, let us say that the magnitude is x1 for this vector, x1. And then for the y direction, the magnitude, it has got an effect in the y direction also. So for the y direction, let us say it has got a magnitude of a2. And for the z direction, the magnitude is a3. And we have just now seen, taking that the two-dimensional detail into account, like that for the three dimension, there's square and add. And for that, take the square root. Like that, square and add, take the square root. This is going to be the magnitude of the resultant, like this. It is going to be the magnitude of this resultant, this one. So, the resultant magnitude is A, that will be equal to this. So, both are same. So, how we got this? Now, we cleared all of it. So, like that, another vector. That another vector, say whose value is B, will be equal to the resultant of the components of this B, x, y, z direction. So, three components. For that, find the resultant. That will be equal to the magnitude of the final vector. So, this will be equal to, say, B1 square plus the B2 square plus the B3 square. So, how are you going to take it is that this is the vector B bar, and this is equal to this length B1, B1, and here this B bar will have a component like this in the y direction. So, that is equal to B2. This will have a component, the z direction, that will be equal to B3. Then the magnitude of this resultant will be so much. Like how for two dimensions it was B equal to square root of B1 square plus B2 square. In the same manner for three dimensions we will have it like this. So, three dimension, if I show it, it will be only confusing. That is why I am showing just a solid body, and by way of actions I am trying to describe in such a manner that it appears to be quite simple. Alright. So, these are the two things that you will have to understand. So, we know the value of A, we know the value of B, and then to find out what is the value of cos alpha or sin alpha or whatever it is, we will have to next find out what is A bar dot B bar. Dot B bar. For that, A bar is equal to, we have found out the magnitude of the vector A, and then the resultant, the direction. So, this value is equal to so much. And for B, the vector B bar, think that this is vector B bar now. So, B1, B2 and B3. Like how square root of, in the same manner here also, this will be equal to B, and that B, which is the magnitude alone, is so much multiplied by B cap. And what we have also seen is that A bar dot B bar is equal to AB. Before I had used capital letters, now I am using small letters, so never mind that. It's all your wish, any way you want, you can write it. So, and we have seen that for the dot product, we get cos alpha. So, from that, what we have also studied was that cos alpha is equal to A bar dot B bar divided by A dot B. We know the value of A and B, put it here, multiply them, that's all. So, one more calculation, and with that you can easily find out using vectors as to what is that angle alpha which we have studied earlier. So for that, the value of A bar, what we have seen was, please note, A bar means it has got magnitude and also the direction. So for this A bar, say this is A bar, in the x direction, it had a magnitude equal to A1. In the x direction, the unit vector, that is the directional vector, is I cap. So, A bar therefore will be equal to, in the x direction already we have seen magnitude is A1 and the direction is I cap. So this is only the result for the magnitudes, this is the result for the vector itself as a whole. And then in the j direction also we have seen that it had a magnitude A2, and in the j direction means y direction, the unit vector is j cap. And then we have now got, because we have taken the third dimension also into account, so we will get A3 k cap. Okay. Like that, let B bar be another vector. So this is B bar another vector, B1, B2 and B3. So instead of now taking only the magnitude B1, B2, B3, show the direction also, because vectors have direction and we are going to find out the value of the vector. So this will be B1 in the I direction plus B2 in the j direction plus B3 in the k direction. Please note, the student appearing for the NEET examination, 95% of them do not know all this. For others who are appearing for the IIT entrance and so on, this is nothing, it is just a peanut for them. So it's not for those students. That's why I already put in my clipping, dedicated to NEET students. For IIT students, when you appear for the JEE entrance examination, for that you have got separate videos. I will show that also to you, man. Yeah, I will show that also. So now coming for what is dedicated to the NEET student, we have A bar equal to so much. So now magnitude, direction both are there, direction is hidden. So take magnitude and direction for each of the three axes, and then when you add it up, that is going to be the result, which is A bar. Like that for B bar also. To find the value of cos alpha, see what we want. We want A bar dot B bar. For this, you will have to understand one more main point. Right. Now, what we have seen was that cos alpha was equal to A bar dot B bar divided by AB. That AB only here we have shown it with small letters. But capital also doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it represents the magnitude. A or capital A, both will have equal representation. Then what is the value of A and B? We have already studied that. See that. We need to now find out what is A bar dot B bar. For that, see here. What I am telling you might appear to be simple, but if you don't look into it repeatedly a number of times, it will not remain stuck into your minds. It will go off your minds. So this is y bar and then this is x bar. We had one vector B bar which was equal to B cap. The component of the magnitude was equal to B cos alpha. Another one was A bar or A cap. Now that the magnitude is represented by small a, so bring it. And then it is in the x direction where the unit vector is I. So to convert this also into vector, here also we have I. And when you multiply these two vectors, it is going to be the dot product of this vector and this vector, the second one, I have told you already. For cross product, it is this vector and the component in this direction, which is B sin alpha j bar. Okay. So when we multiply these two vectors, it is going to be the dot product of these two vectors. And for both we have got I. Dot product of this, finally, dot product for this, finally it will end up in, well, I dot I as the result. And for I and I, you can see that both are parallel, so the angle between them is 0, no angle. So in this case, cos alpha will be cos 0, but cos 0 is 1. So like that, if this vector also is in different direction, the angle alpha also will be different, you will get different results. And if you take it perpendicularly, where we have the other component, b sin alpha, there the first vector and the vector along the y-axis, if you multiply, it will be cross product of this vector and this vector. If you take the component in the y direction, then these two multiplication is called cross product. Now in this direction, the first vector, and in this direction we have got the component of the second vector, which is in having a unit vector of j cap. So that will become I dot j cap. Now angle between I and j is 90 degrees. So here for cos alpha, if you put cos 90, and cos 90 is 0. So I dot j will be 0. So now see the result that we get. That I dot I, you can show the cap or even otherwise, never mind, is equal to 1. And I dot j, just now we have seen, it will be now representing 90 degree directions, and cos 90 is equal to 0. So I dot j will be 0. So like that, the next one we have got I dot k. Show the cap, or when we are used to it, so need not show also. And that is also equal to 0 because even here the angle between the two directions is 90 degrees. This is the z direction. You can see that now. So here I and j, they are 90 degrees. I and j, they are 90 degrees. So for that, when you take the cos of the angle, then there you will get cos 90, which is again equal to 0. So I dot k will also be equal to 0. Then the next thing is j dot j. So two vectors, both of them in y direction, multiply them, both parallel. Angle is 0, cos 0 is 1. So that is why j dot j is also equal to 1. In the same manner, two vectors and both of them parallel to the k direction. K direction means it is k dot k. Of course, cap is understood, and that will be equal to 1 again, because both directions are k, so it is the same direction, angle between them will be equal to 0. Cos 0 is equal to 1. So that is why k dot k will be equal to 1. You have to remember all this for purposes of doing the calculations. But we have not yet come to the end. We need to find out what is A dot B bar. So will be equal to, now put the value of A bar that we have studied earlier. It is equal to A1 I cap plus A2 j cap plus A3 k cap dot multiplied by B1 I cap plus B2 j cap plus the B3 into k cap. You will have to multiply. This multiplication is as usual that we have in algebra. This term multiplied to all the three terms, then this term multiplied to all the three, and this term multiplied to all the three. Add up everything. That is going to be the result of A bar dot B bar, which is in real the dot product. So A1I then multiply B1I. So it is going to be A1 B1 I from A1, I from B1, so you will get I dot I. Now, I dot I is equal to 1. This whole thing becomes 1. So that is why result is scalar product. And like that, now A dot I, A1 I, this is over. Take the second term. So A1 B2, then it is I cap dot J cap. And see here, I dot j is equal to 0. So now you can understand the importance of this explanation. If I don't give the explanation separately and do all that explanation while solving, you will not be able to understand the head or tail of it. Anyhow, good luck, NEET students. Follow it. You will definitely get a better rank. Coming to the point now, we have got now that A1j multiplied with B3k. So A1, B3 are all numbers, magnitudes alone. So here it is I and the other one is k. So I dot then k. Plus other two terms also you have to multiply with each of the terms that is there for the other product. So that will be equal to plus. We have got this is over now, A2j with this. A2j dot B1I. So A2j B1 and then it is J dot I. I dot J or J dot I is all one and the same thing when it comes to dot product. But cross product it is not like that. I cross K, K cross I, both are different. If one is I cross K, if one is J, another one will be minus J. So the result is exactly opposite when it comes to cross product. For dot product, I dot J or J dot I is all one and the same thing. Okay, so plus. So in that case, I better put it as I dot J itself because it makes no difference. Why I am doing it like that? Because we have I dot J already. This is another I dot J. So taking that common, you can add up these two. So that's why I wanted I dot J here also. So I dot J is over A to J and B to J. Just a minute, A1, then that will be equal to A1 B1 I dot I, that is also A to J B1 I. So it will be A to B1 J dot I. You write it as I dot J, it's all one and the same thing. And then going to the second term, we have got A to J multiply B to J. So it is A to B to J dot J. Now see what is J dot J? Already there. So J dot J is equal to 1. We will do that simplification later on. So now we have got A to J multiply B3K. So it will be A to B3 and J dot K. And A dot, so it is J dot K. Okay. Then for the third term, A3K. A3K multiply with B1I. So it will be A3 B1 K dot I or I dot K. It's all one and the same thing. So for the third term we have plus, it is A3K. A3K and multiply with B1I. So it is going to be B1I, A3 B1. A3B1 K dot I or I dot K, anything. I dot K is already there, better I put it like that. So this is I dot K. Please note all are unit vector. A cap is there at the top, which is understood. Then next, we have got A3K B2J. So plus A3K B2J. So it is K dot J. And K dot J, just check up whether we have it anywhere. So J dot K we have. K dot J or J dot K are all one and the same thing. So here also we will therefore write it as J dot K. So this is common, we can add it up. Then plus A3K B3K. So it will be after the multiplication A3 B3. And it is going to be K dot K. Unit vector is understood. So now let us see what is this result. I dot I 1. So that is now just a numerical here. Equal to 1 only. So it is equal to. So and what is that? Therefore A bar dot B bar is equal to the first term A1 B1. This is 1, leave it. So it is just A1 B1. The second term is I dot J. Gone man. Like that I dot K, that is also gone. Leave it. Now here I dot J again gone. J dot J is 1. So A2 B2 you have to take. A1 B1 plus A2 B2. And then plus here J dot K is 0. Only J dot J alone is equal to 1. See there I dot J is also 0. Then in the third term we have got I dot K. Again both are at 90 degrees. So the result is cos 90 equal to 0. Leave it. J dot K again 0. Here K dot K is 1. See that. So we have got plus K dot K is 1. Other things are all equal to 0. Leave it out. So now the end result is A3 B3 will remain. So this is the value of A dot B. Now what we have got is take the value of cos alpha is equal to A bar dot B bar, that one, equal to just A1 B1 plus A2 B2 and then plus A3, so plus A3 then B3. Divided by, in the denominator what we have AB, we know the value of A and B. So it will be equal to the square root of A is A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square and then another term representing the vector B is B1 square plus B2 square. And don't think that by looking at the formula, oh, vectors very tough. Nothing like that. When numbers are given, in the very first step itself, we will be able to find out what is cos alpha, sin alpha, and so on. So, plus B3 square, all within the square root symbol. So, we know now how to find the value of cos alpha. But thing is that you have to remember this, you have to remember this, and you have to remember this, and you also have to remember this. Also remember that. So, for finding out the cosine of any angle or for writing down the equation with regards to the dot product, you have to remember 5 different expressions. One is the magnitude of A bar, that is value of A, another is that of B, and then A bar and B bar. So for all that, when you do the substitution, simplifying that, you will automatically get the result. You can find the value of cos alpha. In the same manner, finding the value of sin alpha is also not difficult.